Uh, Hey! Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm Val Hart, the real Dr. Doolittle. I've also been called the animal communicator to the stars, best-selling author, keynote speaker. I help people who are struggling with their animals. And I'm also the founder of the Heart System for solving problems with pets. And this is my very first Google Hangout live. So bear with me. It's if we make mistakes, I'm sure we will. It's not about being perfect. It's about having fun, about better understanding our pets, our animals. And one of the things I teach is that animals come into our life for a reason. They are teachers, they're healers, they're angels, they're guides. When we learn to respect and recognize and revere them for who they truly are, then they help us be better people. So let me do this right quick. There we go. Okay. It is my life's work to give your animals a voice so that they can help you, tell you when they hurt, when they're confused, when they're lost, lonely, or afraid, when they need something, or when you need something. It looks like Emmy just joined us. So that's good. Okay. By the way, I have a dream.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, let's mute you guys out. Okay. Hey, Emmy. Okay. Welcome. So I do have a dream, and I envision 1 million animal lovers around the world knowing how to communicate with animals. And to me, if we can do that, then we can change the world. We can literally change the world because we'll bring in a whole new element of compassion and gentleness and kindness and able to connect with other beings, and so that they can help us. We're not the only sentient species on the planet, thank God. So animal communication is for all animal lovers, all animal caretakers. It's easy to learn. Just put a little effort into it and learn the skills and develop the skills you already have. Spend a bit of time practicing. Animals tell us the most amazing things. Are you going to love it? So if you haven't already, be sure and pick up your copy of my Quick Start to Animal Talk course. That's available on my website. You can see the link here in my little lower third. The Quick Start to Animal Talk course will teach you 3 fundamental principles that are critical to working with animals. You have to know those 3 points. And it also teaches you 3 easy steps to send a message to an animal, and it works with any animal at any time. So let's talk about what we're doing here today. Okay, you guys. Let's see. Okay. Right. So who's with me today is a wonderful dog scout troop. They are based out of Austin, Texas. Y'all do the funnest things. You play with your dog, you're trading, you partner up together, you do cool stuff. You said, y'all, it's similar to Boy Scouts, only with dogs. I wish I lived in Austin. I would join you. You do fun activities. You said people looking for new ways to connect. Y'all did yoga or doga with your dogs, and you loved it. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're talking in the background, then please do look on the top and mute yourself. You can also, there you go. That's better. Okay, thanks. We just want a clean recording as best we can. So y'all did that. You're looking for overt behavior cues, and I want to help you learn other ways that animals communicate today too. So you gave me some really great questions. You said you're interested in sharpening your skills, knowing and communicating with dogs and cats, and yes, this works with all animals, not just dogs. How to listen when there's more than one animal around the house. So that gets into group work, which is a great question. Learning how to connect and communicate better with furry family members. Excellent. Here's a wonderful one. What do you do if your dog gives you a picture or an answer that you can't understand? Said it feels disingenuous, I hope I said that right, to ask them and then not be able to follow through or complete your communication. So good question. How can you tell if your animal's lives are fulfilled? How can you determine what purpose your animals came to fulfill? How can you best select a new animal companion that's compatible with the animals you already have? critically important question. Oh my God, you have to do that. And then shelter work. How do communication, any tips to work with shelter, rescue, fostering, all those kinds of things. A couple more. We have how can you help your dog if she's ill or he or in pain? What questions should you ask? Do animals reincarnate? Do they spend time with us more than once in our lifetime? And indeed they do. So we'll get into all of that. My intention today is to give you as much as I possibly can. You know, I want you to go away from this with tips you can use, techniques you can try, insights that you can use to open things up for yourselves and your pets. You may have other questions, and we may actually not get to all of these. I'll do my best. I teach a lot of this. All of this is in my How to Talk to Animals Beginning Communication course and the Advanced Topics course. And then it's also in the Animal Talk Coaching Club, and we do live monthly Q&A calls where we go into all of this. And I work with you and mentor and give you exercises and assignments, and we develop your intuition and increase your accuracy and confidence and all of those things. So let me see where we're going to go next. First off, I think I just want to welcome you guys. Would you be okay with telling me who you are, just your first name, and maybe the dogs that are in your life? Anybody want to go first?
Hi, Val. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
This is Pam. I'm here with Cecile. We have 2 dogs who live with us,
Okay.
and we have 4 cats that live with us. And
2 dogs and 4 cats. Okay.
Like Charlie there. We have a German Shepherd and a Pit Bull mix. So that's who we're here for.
Great. Thank you and welcome. And by the way, Cecile and Pam, you guys are the ones that set this up. Brilliant. Thank you for being willing to have your troop be my guinea pigs and hang out. So, yeah, I appreciate you making the time and the effort. It did take some effort to get us here. So we'll do the best we can. All right. Thank you. All right. Who would like to go next? Anybody?
Hey, we're Charlie's Humans. This is Trisha and Paul.
Hey, Trisha and Paul. Hey, Charlie.
And that very stressed out dog in the corner there is Charlie.
Yeah.
He's
You look real. Yeah.
he's a 6-year-old Shepherd Lab-Hound mix, and I don't know his purpose, but our purpose is to make sure that his life is as happy as can be.
Nice. I love that. I love that you have the intention. Look at him. He feels like a pampered pooch. He looks like a pampered pooch. Hey, Puffy. He's pretty proud of his people, by the way. Good for you. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah.
Val, this is Pam again, but I just wanted to say, usually when we have you on the phone, all our animals appear at some point and want to get in on the picture also. So that's an unusual reaction for dogs to have when you start talking.
That happens frequently, yes. It's pretty interesting. In the coaching club, it's like all the animals gather around and they're all like zoned all out. It's really fun, and but you never know how they're going to respond. Hey, Janice, hi.
Hello.
Anybody else?
So here is Polly, Emmylou, and I here.
Okay.
I have 10 dogs.
Okay.
They work. I have 5 that are retired, 3 that are working, 2 that are in training.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, we're getting an echo in your background. Are you hearing us okay?
Yeah, we're definitely hearing the echo. Hold on.
Okay. All right. If you have anything else going on your desktop, sometimes it slows the system down.
On with you on it.
Got it. That's probably the problem. Okay. All right. We'll do the best we can. Okay. Thanks. All right. So who else would like to go? Anybody?
Yeah, we'll go.
Okay.
So this is Susan, and
And Bill, we have one dog, Molly, who we can't show you because she's with Janice, and a cat, Calliope, who is in repose right now. So hate to disturb a happily sleeping cat. And we have a new puppy who is going to be coming to us on the 1st of July.
Nice. Awesome. Okay. Cool. Very good. All right. Thank you. Anyone else?
Hi, this is Kathy.
Hi.
This is Kathy, and that's Molly.
Hey, Kathy. Hi, Molly.
No, this is Kathy and Alice here with the two dogs, Finn and Heidi. We have two rescued.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He's a Yorkshire, and she's a Pomeranian Chihuahua. We have two indoor cats and one outdoor cat.
Okay. Nice. You guys have quite a nice representative of critters. Lots of good critters. Good master animal teachers. So well done. Okay. Just checking our chat. We've still got a few that are having connection issues, I think. We're just going to keep going and do the best we can. So we have one more person, I think. Would you like to share, Emmy?
Yeah. I'm Holly, and I have a border collie, Jasper. I also have several chickens and actually 2 guinea pigs now, but they're for the classroom, but I just acquired them.
I love that. Awesome. Welcome.
And then we also have one off to the side. Let me turn to her.
Hi, I'm Amy Lou, and I have 2 standard poodles.
2 standard poodles. Nice.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Good. Oh, I saw your picture over there. That must be a mirror. It looked like another person. I was going to say, and who is that lovely lady over there in the pink? Okay. All right. Let's come back. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. I like knowing who I'm talking to. When I get to the questions, if you remember what question you had, or if you have another question that popped up, I'd love for you to interact with me so we can, answer it to the best, and be live, be real. So I think, let's see, I've told you what the questions are. We can't answer all of them, most likely, but we will try. Before we dive in, I really want you to know that the person that's in your life disguised as a furry friend, a fur baby, is actually a master teacher. They're in your life for a reason. They were attracted to you. You were attracted to them. You have lessons to learn together. There are things that they're there to help you with. It's astonishing to me the wisdom that they have. And what they can help us with. I remember a story about actually my neighbor's dog. They rescued greyhounds for a long time, a couple next door. And one day they called me and they had just gotten a new greyhound, had him for a few months. He was not working out. The dog was attacking the husband, Gordon. And his name was Pasha, the dog. And they called me in because they didn't know if they had to get rid of the dog or if they had to put the dog down because he was so aggressive, and they just didn't know what to do. And they'd had dogs all their forever, so they knew how to handle dogs, but this one was not okay. So when I got into working with them, Pasha told me that the reason he was attacking the husband was because the wife was really angry with her husband. And the dog had really bonded and decided to become the wife's protector. And they didn't know that. I mean, the wife didn't really communicate her real feelings very much. But the dog had decided to, this was his job. He just picked it up. He looked at her. He felt how she was feeling, which our animals do. Remember that they see what's in your mind's eye. They feel what you're feeling, and then they listen to your words, whatever language you're speaking. They will follow your language to the best of their ability. But the critical part, and we go into this in the Quick Start to Animal Talk course. Again, that's free on my website. If anyone's listening and needs that or hasn't had it yet, go get it. They see you, they hear you, and they feel you, not just physically, overtly, but they also pick you up subtly. the importance when they look at you is they look to see what's in your mind's eye. So they want to check what you're focusing on, and then they check what you're feeling. And then they put those two together first, then they listen to what you said. They listen to your language, your voice, your cue, your signal, whatever you're saying. Our job, our goal as communicators is to be in alignment with ourselves so that the messages that we're sending and are sharing with them are clear. Because if you're focusing on something else and what you're feeling has nothing to do with what you're saying, then we're really confusing. And animals often tell me that they think that humans are one of the densest creatures on the planet because we're cut off. Most of us were so in our heads. We've forgotten to live in our bodies. We're not fully present. Our senses are dull. We don't see, hear, feel, touch, taste anywhere near how well they do, or how we probably could if we actually worked on it. So they're worried about us. Most of the time they're worried about us. So I want to go back to my story. So Pasha told me that he had taken on the purpose or the role of protecting Yvonne. And as soon as I told the couple what Pasha told me, they looked at each other and they were just like, ah, shit, the gig's up, So it opened a whole new conversation between them. And so they realized pretty quick that it wasn't the dog's fault. What he was doing was the job as he understood it. So what I had to do was talk to the dog about giving them a new role, a new job, a new assignment, helping him better understand how he actually could help, and what was not necessary, not helpful, what was actually harmful. So as soon as we had that conversation, everything changed. And then Pasha and the husband started interacting better together. They started doing their long walks together. They all started getting along so much better. And because of the dog, Yvonne and Gordon actually had a breakthrough in their own relationship, which was really, really wonderful. So the point I'm trying to make is that animals look at us and they know us at a very deep level. So asking them what they think and what they see when they look at us, I mean, they can even tell if we're sick. They can show us where we're injured, where we're hurt. And so, so one thing is to offer healing and pain management and to know what's going on with them. But remember, they can also tell you that and help you with your own body. So many animals are master healers. You might want to pay attention if an animal, one of your dogs or cat or guinea pig or chicken, if they come to you and they consistently go to and resonate with a specific area on your body. If they do that, then you might want to get that area checked. So anyway, I'm not sure where that came from. It wasn't quite on my script, but somehow I'm hoping it's helpful. So let's talk about what animal communication actually is. So we have a grounding and an understanding of what this is, how this works. So animal communication is simply a telepathic exchange of energy over a distance. So part of the word telepathic is to hear, like telephone. Empathic or that is about feeling. So feeling someone over a distance, right? So often students get confused because they don't quite understand what thoughts and communication actually is. So any impression, any image, vision, any thought like blue sky or green grass or tastes good, umami could be a thought. So concepts, ideas, all of those things are exchanges of energy, and that's really the base line for all communication and all partnership and all relationship. So if you're alive and listening to me right now, and I can see you, and you still look alive to me, trust me, you're already sending and sharing energy with each other. So true communication is a two-way street. So the Quick Start course teaches you how to send a message. And then once you get in a little deeper, you want to start opening those channels so you can receive messages. And then the fun begins. Then we get into the heart of the conversation, the 7-step blueprint for successful conversation, so you know which question to ask at the right time and the right way. Some of the questions that y'all gave me are really about that. It's like how to guide the conversation so you get a result that you really wanted, or you were hoping for anyway. It just takes a little more effort to learn how to receive messages well, but you're already receiving, so why not be conscious and aware about it and do it on purpose? I thought we might open with a meditation, if you would like. Is that something that y'all would like to do? Let's set the stage for what else we're going to do. Let's see, anybody got any feedback from any of you guys? Any from our peanut gallery here?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, good, okay. This is one that I do in the beginning, the How to Talk to Animals Beginning Core Foundations course. We also do it in the coaching club. It's one of my students' favorites, and mine as well. I think you will love it. It's called Centering with Love. So if you would, have a nice big breath. Oh. Let your bodies be heavy and relaxed. And you can go ahead and close your eyes if you wish and go inward. And one more time, nice big breath. And again, let your body be even more heavy and more relaxed. Relax your jaw, release your tongue. Notice any tension in your mind or body, spirit, and let it drain right into the earth. Connect with your appreciation and your gratitude for all things. Be open to and willing to feel the life force in the world and the beings around you. And I'm going to lead you through a heart-centered connection. So, I invite you to put down anything you might be holding so that your hands are free. And if you're able and willing, go ahead and put both hands out in front of you and have them open, palms up, in a position of receiving. Good. And now what I'm really feeling inspired to do is to actually open my hands out a bit, almost like I'm embracing a basket of good things. I'm receiving an abundance of something. I could even open my arms even wider. And I'm asking you to be open to receiving an abundance of love. And I'd like you at this moment to think of something or someone that you unquestionably and totally love. It just feels like a natural extension of who you are, a part and parcel of who you are. To love this thing, this person, or this being that is part of your life and your heart. And notice where that feeling of love emanates from. Where does it come from within you? What part of your body does it resonate in most strongly? Whatever the intensity is of this feeling, let's double it. Turn the volume up on your love dial. until you're feeling it twice as juicy, twice as passionately, as enthusiastically, as abundantly as you were before. Ah, that feels better. Be aware of where all that love actually comes from as it flows through your body. Does it flow through your arms, through your torso, down your legs, your hips, your feet? And allow that feeling of love to double again. And if that's what's needed, just so it flows all through you, turn the volume up. And notice how it feels to have it running through your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your fingers, up through your neck, into your head. Feel it flow through your scalp, your hair follicles. Let it flow down into your legs, your feet, into the earth. Maybe you even feel this feeling of love and happiness so passionately that it's like a mantle that cloaks all of the outside of you. It's like a field, an energy field. You can think of it as your bliss field. Let yourself really enjoy this. Allow yourself to have this feeling so intensely that it's already setting up a vibration. It's sending energy out into the universe that's connecting with other beings who feel this way as well and can resonate and get in tune and in sync with it. It's a pretty cool thing to think about. Know that the love that you are giving and experiencing is impacting other people and beings all around you, even as we speak. And that feels good. There is no problem that cannot be solved with love. And that's why I'm going to invite you to bring this feeling with you as we go forward into some very practical topics. We're going to hear and experience them and carry them forward with this wave of love. This is a wonderful place to start every connection, every conversation, every communication with an animal especially. And also when we're discussing healing and all the rest. You can open your eyes now if you had closed them. And I'd love to hear, how do you feel now? How is that for you? What do you notice now? Go ahead.
I feel happy and peaceful, full.
Feel happy and peaceful and full. Nice. Anyone else? What do you notice about your animals right now?
They're asleep.
Mine too.
Yeah. They're in an altered state. Yeah. This is a really lovely thing to do, especially if they're kind of hyper a bit. If you will get back into your peace and bring in your love, turn that, I almost imagine like a dial, on a dashboard. Turn the volume up, feel your appreciation, feel your love, and let that cloak surround you and begin to share it with others. One of my students told me this morning in the coaching club Q&A call, she said that she had used this. Her dog was getting way too excited, and not in a good way, when they were driving around and it would see other dogs and people doing things. just barking, going nuts, and way too hyper. And she said that at one point she tried this exercise, and so she just kind of let him do whatever he was doing, and then she got into her love, and she built the volume on it, and she started resonating with it, and she sent it out until it filled the whole car. And she said it was astonishing that her dog all of a sudden blinked, calmed and settled, got quiet, and then was just happily watching the world. Not excited, not hyper, not overly aggressive or anything. Stopped barking, just calmed down completely. And it was just by doing this one exercise. So I hope you can play with this. Maybe do it again. Give it a try and see how it works for you. So any questions at this point? How are we doing so far? Seems like we're okay. All right. Yeah? Okay. If someone's typing on your computer or something, be sure to mute yourself out because we can hear the little clicky clicks. I was doing that to my teacher the other day, and I was driving her nuts. Now I know what she was talking about. Okay. So let's see. One of the questions y'all gave me was how to use animal communication to help with shelter, rescue, and fostered animals. I know some of you do that. Who works with shelters, and who among you? Okay, so Bill and Susan. Great. Anybody else? And we've got a couple of our people here are completely blurred out, so I can't see anybody there. All right, so I want to give you some tips. I will tell you that working with shelters and rescuing and fostering and all of that is an advanced move, so to speak, with animal communication. So once you have a good foundation of sending and receiving information and connecting and start building on your accuracy, then knowing how to do this is critically important. And this is where you get into the art of the conversation. So just to give you a quick story before we dive in, I'll give you some tips and pointers on doing that. A friend of mine she saw a Bichon Frise at a rescue. It'd been rescued from an abusive home in Houston. And she saw the picture of the dog, and she knew that was her dog. She had to go get that dog. That was hers. He was supposed to be with her. And so she lived here in San Antonio, so she took off, went to Houston, got the dog, brought him home, thinking that, oh, the dog is rescued, his life is better, all this, it's all great. But the dog didn't think so. He got very, very sick. He didn't bond with her. The vet couldn't figure out what to do for him. He was lethargic. He wouldn't eat. He was wasting away. It literally, it got to the point where she thought he might be dying. And so when I went in to talk to, his name was Rocky, a beautiful sweetheart, Bichon. Rocky told me that he didn't understand what had happened to him. He didn't know where his people were. He didn't know why he had been taken away. And who was this person? Why was he here? And he was grieving. He was grieving so hard. He said there was someone there in that family that he was supposed to help, and now that he wasn't there, he couldn't do his job. And he was so sad. He didn't have any way to connect with his new environment that he was able and willing to do at that point. So he had just withdrawn and gone inward and just sort of, imploded. So through communication, I share with them, I said, well, here's what happened. Well-meaning people who love dogs, they saw you being hurt and and starved and abused and all of that, and they said it's not okay for you to be there. They decided that they needed to intervene, that person needed to learn how to treat animals and dogs better. So they took you away from that family. And they did it because they love you and they care about you. And they're so sorry that happened for you. the way that it did. So we had that conversation. And then I told him, I said, and then here's my friend Bonnie, your new mom. And she saw your picture and she was so moved, and her heart just, she felt that you had a purpose with her. And here's what she would love for you to do. This is a new job, a new role, a new purpose. Would you consider taking on? And it's up to you, because if you say no, then we will help you get wherever you do feel like you need to go. And so we had this conversation. And for the first time, Rocky picked his head up and showed interest and started being a little more perky, a little more energetic. And he said, well, tell me what I'm here to do. What do you need? And so I told him, I said, well, and we had a conversation between the three of us. This is what we would love. This is what her life is and how she needs help. And she loves you with all her heart already, and she just met you, and y'all haven't even bonded yet. And so what do you think? And so we explained the whole thing. And he thought about it a minute, and he said, yeah, I could do that. Yeah, I could do that. And then he went over to Bonnie, and he started bonding with her, playing with her. And then he goes, I'm hungry. Do you have any food? And so we got him, of course, some food. And, I mean, it was just, they were like that ever after. I mean, it accelerated the bonding so quickly. It was just astonishing. And he, just within a day, it's like he was back. He was happily going about the stable. She was a foreman and ranch caretaker, ranch foreman for a 10-acre facility, blah, 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 horses, longhorn cows, etc. But he was the new barn dog, and he had a great time. He loved it. He even found some kittens in the woodpile out there that had lost their mother, and he brought them in and helped raise those kittens. And I mean, he just had a wonderful life. Once his questions were answered, his concerns were addressed, we heard his story, and we respected what he had gone through. And we negotiated and offered him a whole new life, a whole new role, a job, a place to be fulfilled and have purpose. But we made it his choice. So once he had true understanding, he could decide, do I want to do this or do I not want to do this? And, of course, in this case, he said yes. And it made a huge difference, all the difference in the world. And it turned around like that. So those are a few things that you want to do. A little quick story, hopefully fairly quick, on working with rescues and fostering and helping animals find the right home and heal when they're in shelter. You know, they've got so many stories to tell. How did they get there? You know, what happened to them? What do they need? What do they want? Do they want a single person and they're really a one-person dog or cat or horse? Or do they want a family? They like lots. You know, they won't feel okay unless they have other dogs, you know. Or do they love cats? Are they good with cats? Or do they hate cats? They will eat your cat. Don't put me with a cat. You know, all those kinds of things. What's their training? What's their background? And what do they want? What are they happy with? What helps them the most? So those are a few things. You know, ideally the goal is to help them leave their past behind and step confidently forward into their future with their new and their right family, their right person, and right situation. So there are 6 steps that I teach, and again, this is from the Advanced Topics course where we go into this in a lot more detail. The first step is to listen to them and let them tell you their experience, their fears, their pain, concerns, or worries. Because until you've heard that, you won't know how best to help them or what they really need or want right now. When you have gotten that, then often that's all they wanted. As far as that goes, they just needed someone to get them. They needed someone to hear their story. And then they can have a nice big breath and let it go. And they're really good at letting the past go when they're complete. The second step is to, okay, we've got some background noise there. Remember to mute yourself if you need to. All right, second step. Let them get to know you and then decide if they like you, and only then will they know if they can trust you. Remember, trust is earned. Okay? So if you have a new family coming in, possible adoption, something, have them spend time together, and then talk to the dog or the cat or whatever afterward, so that the dog or the animal tells you how they feel about this person, about these people. Okay. And we've got some noise in the background. Remember to mute yourself if you've got and doing noise. All right, number 3. The third step is to be a calm, assertive leader for them, someone that they can respect and feel safe with. Remember, don't offer them unearned affection. Your job is to offer them direction, what is needed, from a place of peace and confidence. Okay, so typically we as humans, when we work with an animal that we feel like sorry for or worried about, or they seem skittish or scared, we want to comfort them, right? That's normal, very normal. It's okay to comfort them. And what they really also need to help them restabilize is direction. It's like, okay, what do you want me to do? Where do you want me to go? How do you want me to be? What's helpful? Give me a job to do so that I can refocus and put my energy into something. All right. They need that more than just a lot of hugs and rewards and treats and stuff. So remember that. The fourth step, number 4, is to tell them the story of the offer for what's next for them. So whatever it is, are they going to come live with you? Are you fostering them? Will they be staying at this shelter until their new family comes for them? Whatever they're going to encounter next, they need to be set up and geared for. A vet visit, a wellness check, help for their aches and pains. You really want to prepare them for it, whatever it is, well in advance, so they know what to expect. They know what's expected from them, and they know how it's going to look and feel, and that they're safe, and what the purpose is for the whole thing, so they know where they're going. All right. The fifth step is to discuss the job and discover what their purpose is as they know it at that time. If they don't have a purpose that's clear to them anymore, and that can happen, they've lost their purpose, like with Rocky. He lost his purpose when he was stripped away from that other family. So if they don't have a purpose, you can talk to them about, well, what feels good to you? What do you like to do? And offer them a job. Animals love jobs. They do. Dogs have the consciousness, it's taught in the body talk system anyway, that dogs have the consciousness of protection. They like to protect their people, protect their property, their territory, physical protection. They like to protect their treats and their toys and their space and their people. So and each other perhaps. So there's that. Cats more have the consciousness of protection from psychic or emotional or energetic attack or imbalances. So often kitties will get upset if there's some emotional or even psychic types of disturbances going on around you. All animals pay attention and notice psychic stuff. They're very sensitive to that. But cats are a little more sensitive to it than others, and they really take offense to being attacked emotionally or mentally. It's not okay. So dogs are more about physical, typically. It's not always, but typically. Kitties are a little more about mental and emotional and energetic. So there's this fifth step. The sixth and last step is to invite them to make a decision. Ask them to make a decision. What do they want to do? Don't rush them. You need to give them time to decide. Do they want to go with this new person, or do they say no? just hold the image, offer support and encouragement, answer their questions, their concerns or their fears, and let them let you know when they're ready or what they need. So those are the 6 steps of working with shelter and foster animals. And actually, when I was preparing for this class, I originally thought you guys were a dog rescue group, which I was developing material for a dog rescue group to go way more into this. And so I actually have enough material for at least a 6 or 7 or 8 class series. So there's a lot more to this, but that'll get you started. Who asked that question, and would you like to give me some feedback? Does that help? I'm sorry, Susan and Bill. This was of interest to you guys. So what do you think about that? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. Thanks. It's a little hard in the shelter situation because people are desperate to move dogs out to anybody who loves a dog and wants to adopt them.
Right.
So while what you said makes perfect sense to me,
yeah,
the practicality in our very overcrowded situation is that none of the people who are decision makers would probably let that happen. It's sad to say, but it's the current reality.
Yeah, I completely understand. Here's what you can do. So I know you're not completely in control and in charge, but here's what you can do. Listen to them. Let them tell you their story. Offer healing. We'll talk about healing a little bit. Give them a way to be complete with their past. Explain to them what is going on, what this shelter is about, who these people are that are coming to see them. In fact, you can ask the dog, if you really like this person and you want to go home with them, then you show them. Make it clear. No question about it. You give it your 100%. And if you hate them, you never want to have anything to do with them. Then you turn your back, you run the other way, you growl at them, you don't hurt them, but do whatever you can to make it really clear that this is not a good match. So you see, so Susan and Bill, when they know what the game is, then they can participate fully. They can really give it their all. That helps them. That helps them enormously. And that will also help the shelter as well. The other fun thing you can do is talk to them about sending out that love energy, in effect, that we did earlier. Do that with them and ask them to get really clear about the person they want to be with, that they feel called to, that they have purpose with. Send out that energy to wherever that person is and pull them to you. So pull them, in other words, the dogs and angels and spirits, that whoever be, they can help find the right person and make that connection. It'll create synchronicity of timing. It can create all kinds of cool things that happen beyond our ability, beyond our normal knowing. So those are things you can easily do, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Yes, and that's helpful more than you can even imagine. It's really astonishing. So, all right. Oops. Ah.
Could you talk just a little bit about purpose of chickens? Like, do they seem to have different jobs, or do all chickens kind of have a more similar kind of job?
So the purpose of chickens, did I hear that right?
Yeah, step 5.
Awesome, I love that. It depends on the chicken. A lot. I mean, we can talk in generalities about. Here, hold on. We can talk in generalities about what the purpose of a whole species, but the fact is that each individual has their own purpose. So until we worked with the actual chicken, probably couldn't tell you that. You can also observe and witness. Go ahead,
Like the
Janice.
general protectiveness of like certain things, and cats are more protective of more psychic space. And I just wondered if
Right.
chickens kind of had, their kind of area too.
Yeah. They do. They do. Let me tune into that. Hold on. Chickens have a protective energy for the earth itself. But it's different. It's like dogs are about protecting. Chickens are more about nurturing and working their area, about being fully present in their area. They're also about community and family. They also have something to do with providing let's say connection, also sustenance. That's actually in a chicken consciousness of this whole species. And beyond that, they are very wise, very wonderful creatures. They have a lot to say. They're very sociable, typically. Not always, but they are. They're very about community and family. Does that help at all, Janice? Okay.
Yes. To my microphone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Good. So let's talk about helping pets when they're.
I've been working with a client who has some chickens, and they are beautiful members of the family. So I was.
Yes. Yes. Excellent. Good. Good feedback. All right. So let's talk about health, healing, pain, working with those kinds of things. Who asked those questions? Who's interested in, let's see, how animal talk can help us help our pet when they're ill? Do you remember, is someone here asked that?
I think.
Go ahead.
I think it's me.
Okay. All right.
I think it's me.
Okay. So there are a lot of different wonderful techniques. One of the classes that I taught with Kathleen Prasad, who does animal Reiki, we combined animal Reiki and animal talk into a animal healing class that's available on my website. And it's really cool. We taught our favorite healing techniques. It's really inexpensive. It's like $20 or something. But it'll teach you all three techniques, our favorites that anyone can use. They're wonderful. When you talk with animals, remember to ask them, how do you feel in your body? Are you experiencing any pain or discomfort? Are you, what happens when you move or try to get up or go to the bathroom? Or questions like, does it hurt when you chew or swallow? Are you having trouble breathing? How's your tummy feel? How's your back feel, your neck? Any trouble peeing or pooing? How are your senses? Can you see okay? How do you hear? Have you noticed any problem that way? I remember, it's not a dog, it's a horse story, but I was out working with Peruvian Paso, and they were really concerned about the horse because he was hypersensitive to anyone on his right side. And it kind of came on all of a sudden. He never used to be, and nothing bad had happened that they knew of. So I'm asking the horse, it's like, what's up with that? You know, because he was skittish and spooky and really nervous and not happy with anybody walking on that side of him. And he said, it's because I can't see over there. Oh my God. He had actually gone blind in his right eye. And so this whole quadrant of his world was now black. It was dark. And so anyone on that side would pop into his vision only when they got to a certain point, and it would scare him. And so what we wound up doing is negotiating, okay, how can we help you with this? How about if we keep a hand on you when we walk on that side? How about if we make noise and talk to you? You can hear us, right? Yes, yes, I can hear you. And so they figured, and I mean, it was so cute. It was heartwarming. As soon as we got to that, he took this big breath and his, thank God. He had been just terrified to have this whole half of his world go black. And nobody knew, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong. And So it was really, really sweet. But you never know. When you talk to them, find out. Find out. A lot of animals have headaches. So, you need to know that. What kind of headache? If they are in pain, how do they feel? Is it sharp, burning, stinging? Does it itch? How long has it been happening? What makes it worse? What makes it better? Does this help? Or just this make it worse? You would rather we didn't do that. Do we need to see a vet? Do we need extra help? Let's see. When did it start? Some things come on suddenly. Some things are going to teach my students. Use a scale of, are they in pain on a scale of, or a 10 where it's like screaming agony. Read for what kind of, is it like a, they really only feel it after when they try to get up in the morning. I just saw Bill. Okay, so they've been resting for a while, or is it only, or does it go like up to like they're holding and being tight and struggling? They don't quite know how to help. So those are some questions. Is a whole another thing. There are many, they're incredibly powerful. Any animal lover that wants to learn. I teach some of my best and favorite topics or techniques for healing animals in pain, for bringing them out of shock, which is critical. When they're in shock, they need emergency help. And for relieving pain. All that's in the advanced topics animal communication course. For instance, we talk about intuitive body scanning, the Callahan touch technique, energy healing from the heart. I call it the bridge. One of my students' favorites, and mine too, is the magical goo technique, which sounds funny, but it is so sweet and so powerful. And then there's the feel my hand technique. There's a few others in there as well. I think, looking at our time here, I think that's probably what I can give you for today. I'd actually like to teach you a technique. Would y'all like to learn a technique? Looks like we've lost some people. Did y'all get bounced out?
I just turned the mic back on. This is Paul, and yes.
Hey, Paul.
Technique. Hi there, Val. A
Hey.
technique would be good.
Okay, good. So I can't tell if we still have Janice and Emmy. It looks like Bill and Susan.
You can
Okay, good.
cut it out a little bit.
Okay, very good. Let's do this technique then. I think you will love it, and hopefully, I think you'll have really good results with it, and it's easy to learn. I was experimenting with this technique a long time ago. It was one I learned in one of my healing classes, and I used to work at Wildlife Rehabilitation and Rescue outside. Used to be in Bernie. It's now out at Candalia, I think. Great facility. Rehabbed a lot of sick and ill animals. And one day, I was on staff there. One day, we brought in 3 bobcat cubs. They were about 3 months old, and they were very ill. They were malnourished. They were covered in fleas and ticks. And the director took them in and tranquilized them so that he could clean them up, do a vet check on, med check on them, give them whatever else he did with them, shots and D-flea and D-tick, etc. So he did all that stuff for them. And then we put them on a heating pad in a special little area and waited for them to wake up, come out of the anesthesia. And they really should have come out within about an hour or so. They should have been awake. Well, an hour went by and they weren't awake. And another hour went by and they still weren't awake. And another hour went by, and when I went in to check on them, one of them had actually died. It's very, very bad. I was there by myself at that point, so I called the director and I said, what do you want me to do? What can I do? What can I do? And he said, well, there's really nothing you can do. They'll either come out of it or they won't. So just keep watching them. And I was like, okay, well, that's not acceptable. And so I took them into a larger area, and I got into the cage with them. And by the way, these were not tame bobcats, if there is such a thing. But I got into the enclosure with these two baby bobcats, and I used this technique that I'm going to teach you in just a second. I began to lay my hands on them and communicate with their spirits. And within just a few minutes, literally about 3 minutes on the clock, the first one started waking up. And he was stretching. He starts purring first. I'm feeling the purr, big purr. And he starts moving, stretching, yawning, wakes up. His eyes are open. He's going, oh, who are you? Look, my new best friend. And so I connected and talked to him a little bit more. And then I said, I need your help. You need to help me wake your brother up. And he goes, okay. And so we went, and he literally helped me with his brother. I did the same technique on the brother, a little harder to bring him out. But within 10 minutes, he was awake, alert, not wobbly anymore, and perfectly happy. And they both went on to live really good lives and recover their health and be great. It was always so cute, because every time I'd walk back there or go out to their enclosure, they would come racing up to the fence, wanting to, say hi, and touch, and and I mean, these guys. Like razor sharp claws and teeth. You don't want to get on the bad side of a bobcat. But I was their best buddy. So this is the technique. All right, you ready? I call it the feel my hand technique. Feel my hand. Okay? Hand. Feel it. Okay. So it's especially useful for shock. Any animals who are not connected in their bodies very well, who don't know actually where all their body parts are. This is really important for horses, because sometimes they forget where their hind end is, and they've lost their awareness of their body in space and with the objects around them. It's like they're just kind of popped out, and they're not fully in their body, fully present. For animals who can't feel themselves clearly, so animals who have been injured or wounded, like they're numb in an area of their body, or they have a shutdown or cold area. Old injuries with scar tissue can decrease circulation in those areas. Let's see. If they're just all in their head, and it's like with dogs especially, they'll get so hyper and so sight forward and what they're looking at, they forget about their body, and they're just like racing through life and running into things and stuff, or very hyperstimulated, easily hyperstimulated. So the first thing to do is ask their permission to touch them, and if they're conscious. If they're not conscious, then you want to ask their spirit for permission. And all you do is just connect with them with the love, like we talked about earlier. Feel them, ask them for permission to be of assistance, and you wait a moment.
Val, this is Paul.
Yeah, Paul.
I've lost the video of you. I don't know if
you lost my video. Oh my God!
All we see is your very happy picture. It's a nice picture, but we can't see you. I don't know if it's necessary to see you. We can hear you quite nicely.
Huh? Is it there now?
No, if you're going to demonstrate the feel my hand technique, there you
are. Hello.
Hey, yay! Oh, that's weird. Okay, I turned the camera off and then turned it back on again. I think we had some interference a little bit ago. Sorry. Thank you so much for telling me.
That's all right. And I have no video of some of the other folks, but
Okay.
you're you're there, and so I'm going to unmute you again. So when we
Okay.
talk and stuff. Okay, bye.
Great. Great. So for anyone who's lost their camera, their video feed, you might want to click up on the top up here, hover your mouse up there, and click on that video icon, or the camera. Sorry, the camera icon, and toggle it back and forth, and see if it'll bring you back on. All right. So let's go back into the technique. So again, we're feeling my hand, basically. All right. So you ask permission to touch them. Okay. Once you get permission, you have a sensation, a feeling, something feels inviting, or there feels like an opening there, then go ahead and do it. You're going to place your hand somewhere on their body, wherever you feel guided, and simply lay your hand there lightly. Like if this is my animal, I would be just going like that. And you just hold it there and let yourself feel the warmth, feel the connection, feel the energy. Don't have to be hard pressure at all. It's just a light touch. Got it? Okay, the next step is to ask them to feel your hand. So you're literally going to ask them to send their awareness to that body part and feel your hand, its warmth, your energy, your love, your caring, on their body part right there, just that spot. And then you wait. You wait for them to energetically connect with you, and you will notice a difference. In fact, I'm going to invite you, especially for those of you who have partners available, to play this game with each other. So one of you will be the sender, one will be the receiver. Okay? And then wait for them to tell you that they can feel your hand. If they can't tell you or you can't hear them yet, then wait until you feel a warmth or a spark or a pulse or some awareness. And if you still don't get that, don't worry about it. Go to the next spot and just do it again. You offer thanks. Thank you. Thank you for feeling my hand. Thank you for helping me help you. And then you just move to a new spot. You rinse and repeat. Do it again. Try it again. And you do that until the animal's calm and settled. And you will actually probably see them have a nice big breath. Their body will relax. Much better. You can keep going. I did this once. Again, a horse example. Forgive me. Think of a horse as a big dog. Okay, so I went out and was working with this horse that had been auctioned off. It was an old schooling horse. Not a very happy horse. It had gone to auction, and the student that had learned how to ride on this horse couldn't stand the thought of this horse going to the butcher. So she bought it, but then she was having trouble with the mare. And she brought me out to work with them, and when I asked the mare how she felt in her body, she said, "I hurt all over." And I said, "Well, is there any place on your body that feels good to be touched?" She said, "No, no." I said, "No place anywhere at all?" And she said, "Well, maybe around my left eye." And so I just kind of lightly touched right in there. And I said, "Can you feel my hand? Does that feel okay? How does that feel? Feel my hand." She said, "That feels good." And I said, "Can I move to another spot? Thank you." She said, "Yeah." And so I moved around, and she said, "That feels good. That feels good. Well, how about here? Oh, that feels good too." It took us about 30 minutes. But we actually were able to work down her head, down her neck, into her shoulders. And for the first time, in a very long time, she was able to start relaxing. She was licking and chewing, which is a great thing with horses. And you could just see the tension start draining out of her body. We wound up, my client's assignment was to do that every day and do her whole body, wind up to get to her whole body. And the next week, I talked to my client and said, "Well, so how's it going with Blackie?" she said, "Oh my God, I can't tell you, this is so exciting." She said, "People are asking me who the horse is at the stable," and she's been there for 10 years at least. They're going, "Who's this horse? It looks like a brand new horse. Where did this horse come from?" And Blackie was in high spirits. Her coat started shining. She had escaped from her pasture. She's really good at opening the gate. She had escaped from her pasture and was racing around, kicking up her heels, getting into things and creating shenanigans. And it was like a whole new horse. Just because of this one technique, it got her back in her body in a way that felt comforting and safe, and she could let go of all that tension. So it's a really powerful technique. So again, there's a lot more of these wonderful techniques on my website if you want to check them out, and that is one from the Advanced Topics course. Any questions or feedback about that? I'm assuming y'all can still see me. I'm seeing myself, so hopefully that's a good sign. All right. So I know we've got a little bit more to do. Or at least gone in the questions that y'all had. I don't know how much longer y'all want to go, but before we finish up here today, I wanted to tell you I did create a special offer for you. If you want to get my Beginning Core Foundation course, that'll give you a really solid foundation to build your skills on. It's a great course. You'll love it. Again, it's at the animaltalkcoachingclub.com. Look under How to Talk to Animals, Beginning Core Foundation course. And look at that. There's also the Advanced Topics course. So some of you already have communication skills. You want to advance your skills. Check that out. The offer I have for you, and it's available for anyone listening, it is a limited time offer though, so don't wait long to take it up, is $100 off of the course. So you can get $100 off the beginning course or $100 off the advanced course. So the coupon, I want to write this down. The coupon is Hangout 100. The lowercase or all caps doesn't matter. But that when you do the checkout, if you put Hangout, Hangout 100 in the coupon and click apply, it'll take $100 off of your total. So I hope that helps you. And there are payment plans, by the way. So you're welcome. Delighted to help. There's also the Animal Talk Coaching Club. So if you've taken the Quick Start to Animal Talk course, which is free, so nobody has any excuse not to take that, you're eligible to join the Animal Talk Coaching Club. And there's lots of fun things that we do there that I think you will love. So, all right, so let's do a tune-in. How are y'all doing with what we've done so far? I know we've gone a little bit over our allotted time. How are we doing? Have you liked what we've done so far?
You bet.
Useful?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think we're all still muted.
I was going to say, hello, I can see you there somewhere. Okay, good. All right. Do you have any questions about anything we've done so far?
Charlie is very relaxed. He had a good experience.
Try the feel my hand technique with him. We'll see what happens.
Right.
He responded with a lick your hand technique.
I love it. Oh, that's great. Okay. All right, so let's see. Okay, I think we just have one more question left. Y'all want to go for about another 5 minutes and then we'll close it down?
Sure.
All right, well, this is about communicating with groups of animals. So the question was, I have more than one animal in the house. How do I focus on more than one? So let me see. To do this really well, and again, this is an advanced move, so it's an advanced topics that I teach in that course. But when you work with groups of animals, you need to know and understand group consciousness and family matrices. You also know how to confidently approach a group. So sometimes you want to work with the individual, and sometimes you actually need to work with the group. And it doesn't just have to be the group or the pack of dogs or the colony of cats, the group of cats, pride maybe of cats, big cats, or flock of birds or whatever. I don't know what guinea pig groups are called. But if you're going to work with a group, a family group, it could be cross-species or it could be the single pack or the herd or just the family within the family. So it's really important to understand that and also know that if you're working with a individual within a group, you may need to actually work with the whole group in order to get to solve a problem or to get insight or input into something. Individuals within a group take on roles and jobs in their community. It's like taking a job in a corporation. You put on the uniform and then you become known for that job or that service, unless you are promoted or demoted and get given another job. So when you communicate with a group, to continue the corporation analogy, you would need to find the manager or the CEO or the matrix holder, whoever is in charge of the group, that speaks for the group if you want to effect change within the whole organization. That's the best and fastest way to work with the whole group when you have a problem, is to get the whole group behind you, working as a team in partnership and community. So in the animals case, you're looking for a paternal or a maternal leader, a spokesperson, the voice, the overseer for the well-being of the group as a community first. There's a cool little story I'll tell you. I was just at a friend's house last week, and she said, "Can you help me? I've got a nest of wasps, putting a nest right outside my front door in her apartment complex." And she was really worried about them. They're going to sting her friends, her family. There's pesticide control in the apartments, and she's concerned that they're going to get killed. And she don't have any ill wishing for them. She don't want to hurt them. They do provide very important function, but she didn't know what to do. And so I communicated with the wasps, and I told them, I told the leader of the wasp, I said, you're in danger. We would really like you to relocate your nest as quickly as possible. This is why it's important. We care about you. We love you. We're offering this with respect. And so when I asked her just a couple of days ago what had happened, she said that the activity at that nest had all but gone away. They had almost like abandoned the nest and were gone. It was amazing. So I've worked with a lot of different types of groups, birds, fish, flocks of birds. Well, I said that. All right. Well, anyway, so you got the point. So if the problem or the individual you want to communicate with is lower in the hierarchy, you still have to honor the status quo. So if you invite the matriarch or the senior animal or the leader to connect with you first, then you show respect and courtesy, and then something really important happens. The power of the group combines with you to help with this communication, or to solve the problem. Sometimes the group itself can influence the behavior of the individual in ways that you simply cannot. So here's some tips. It's important to use the power of groups wisely, and to understand the group hierarchy. So the first thing is to approach a group with respect, connect energetically, ask to speak with whoever's in charge, whoever is the voice or the spokesperson, or whoever volunteers to connect with this group. And if you hear a lot of voices clamoring for your attention, which is I think what was happening with the person that asked this question, then what you want to do is thank them all. Say, thank you, I really want to talk to all of you, but I can only listen to one at a time. So who would like to go first? Okay. Works really well. You offer respect, you introduce yourself, you talk about your purpose, what your business is there, what you want to do, and you proceed accordingly. So you just have fun with it and rock and roll. be sure to remember to offer appreciation to the whole group when you finish. So I hope that helps. Feedback. So how was that? Was that of assistance? Or did I give you more than you needed or not enough? Whose question was this? I've forgotten. Okay, it looks like we've lost a number of people. What happened? Where are you guys?
Val, this is Paul. We're still here.
Yeah, Paul. Hey, Paul. Paul and Susan are still here. I'm not sure what's happened with. Let's see. We have Emmy, Joyce. We've lost. There you go. Yeah. You think what? Okay. All right. Tell you what. I think we're pretty much done here. So if y'all have feedback. It looks like we're having some technical problems too. If you have feedback for the class, I would love to hear it. Any golden nuggets, anything that you are going to take away from today that you found valuable? Paul, Susan, Holly, Emmy Lou, Janice. What happened to Cecile and Pam? Tricia?
Oh, I'm here. I mean, gosh, I think that a lot of that was validating in terms of trusting the energy connection that I know Paul and I feel with Charlie.
Okay.
So some of it was reaffirming, and then some of it was, I mean, we've had Charlie for a few years, but I was reflecting back on when we did adopt him, and there was some ambivalence in the beginning, and I think we're going to have a talk with him about reminding him that we're a pack and he's here to stay, and that no amount of his distress or behaviors is going to change his place in our pack.
Great.
We're gonna really let him know that.
Excellent. You might also want to talk about his job. So be really clear about what his role actually is. Be sure it suits him. It's something he really wants to do, and feels valuable, or feels a reward for doing that.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. That will help a lot. Great. Thank you. Anybody else? Anything else you're going to take away from today you found interesting or useful?
I think the information on the groups was very helpful in finding out who the matriarch or patriarch is.
Good. Yeah.
How to address the group.
Excellent. Good. That's real important. I think you'll find it makes a big difference. And also in how they respond back to you, big time. So, well done. Good. Anything else? Any other golden nugget feedback, takeaways? Anything else you found valuable?
I like the reminder about trust being earned, and what that a lot of times, especially rescuers are looking for.
Okay. We're having some technical difficulties, Janice. It's really hard to hear you. It's garbling. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Okay. Tell you what, love to hear from you. If you'd like to email me, give me feedback, or let me know what you think. If you have other questions, you want to do another round, I'd be happy to. Email me at contactval@valhart.com. And again, go check out the Animal Talk Coaching Club. Again, your special coupon, it's not anywhere else. It's only for my Hangout people. Is Hangout 100, and that's $100 off the beginning core foundation course and $100 off the advanced topics course. So I hope this has been of value. I appreciate and love the work that you're doing. Love to hear more about your adventures, and I think we're done for the day. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you for joining us, Val, and providing the information.
Delighted to help. Take it and use it wisely.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you for your love of animals. I'll talk to y'all later. Okay, bye everybody.
Bye.